Investigators also found only one air traffic controller was in the tower instead of the two required.
It was a sequence of a lot of minor things that added up to this tragic. Situation.
And 700 WLW aviation expert Jay Ratliff says one of those, factoring into Flight 5191's tragic equation, may have been a missing advisory, alerting the crew the normal taxiway to the main runway was closed.
The thought being that had the crew gotten that information, that they would have not turned down the taxiway that was closed.
Investigators say flight data recordings show the pilots thought they were on the right runway, but Flight 5191 ended up on a shorter runway. The plane crashed during takeoff, killing 49 people aboard.
Control and the flight crew planned for a takeoff from runway 22. As you know, the FDR and the evidence on scene indicates the crew took off from runway 26.
Runway 26 at the Lexington, Kentucky airport, at a length of 3,500 feet, is too short to handle a regional jet the size of the Comair plane. The question remains why the crew missed the proper runway, runway 22. The shorter runway at Lexington does intersect with the longer runway, but runway signage and lighting should clearly distinguish them. Those elements are part of the NTSB's investigation. In Lexington, the taxiway for the big runway was changed slightly last week. Investigators will try to learn if that factored into Flight 5191, ending up on the wrong runway yesterday. Reporting live from the newsroom tonight, I'm Jane Miller, WBAL TV 11.
After 6 a.m., still an hour before sunrise, the crew of the Atlanta-bound flight received a clearance to taxi to runway 22. The taxi route would take them across the arrival end of nearby runway 26. Only 3,500 feet long, runway 26 had no edge lights and was limited to day VFR operations. After pushing back from the gate, the crew taxied the short distance to the threshold of runway 26. But instead of proceeding across 26 and continuing on to runway 22 as their clearance allowed them to do, they held short of the smaller, unlit runway and called for a takeoff clearance. Alone in the tower cab, the controller verified that the assigned runway 22 was clear, but didn't notice that the Comair jet was in the wrong place. He cleared it for takeoff, then turned his attention to other tasks. It was a critical moment. By the time they realized the problem, it was too late. Struggling to get into the air, the jet ran off the end of the runway at over 130 knots. Of the 50 passengers and crew members on board, only the first officer survived. In the aftermath of the accident, the NTSB pointed to several contributing factors, including the pilot's non-pertinent cockpit conversation during taxi and the controller's failure to monitor the takeoff.
An 11-month-long federal investigation into that crash wrapped up last month, with the sole blame placed on the crew.
I'm actually thankful that he is not here to see this.
Clay says her husband wasn't given accurate information the day of the crash. She points to a cockpit recording that was supposed to warn pilots of changes at the airport.
The tower recorded the wrong announcement that day.
Clay also places blame on the air traffic controller, who never realized the plane was on the wrong runway because he was doing paperwork.
When the tower cleared him, he assumed they